What's up, legends? Many of you guys have requested to see how to complete the Eradicate missions, so today I got here for you two back-to-back Eradicate missions against the very insane Automatons. Initially this wasn't going to be a video, I was just playing a regular game against the Automatons, but after I completed the first Eradicate mission, I figured I'd go for the second one. So this is indeed a voiceover post commentary, not a live commentary on this video. We're going to be going over a few pointers and my thoughts as we go through these games. One thing that I deeply recommend for these Eradicate missions is bring this Butcher heavy armor set right here because it has the medkit passive, which is going to allow us to bring 2 more stims, and the stim duration is increased, and that is going to be extremely important in these missions. Because when you use a stim, you are essentially immune against automatons, and it's just extremely important, as you will see here many times. For this run, we were using the 500 kilo bomb, the rocket pod, the Eagle airstrike, and the autocannon. But funny enough, I actually don't even get to use the autocannon. I think I take a couple of shots off of it as I struggle here to pick up this very first autocannon. But later on I'm able to call it up. So the reason why we're playing 2 back-to-back Eradicate missions here is because there are 2 different maps for the Eradicate missions. In case you didn't know, there is this map and there is the other one that you'll see here in a second, which is a more vertical type map. But the strategy for both of these is going to be very similar. So if you can pull it off on one map, you're likely going to be able to pull it off in another. And essentially what we're going to be doing here is relying a lot on our stratagems and using the edges of the map. You essentially want to be on the edges of the map consistently so that you can survive for longer periods of time. You're able to kite your enemies easier, you're able to stay alive longer, which is just gonna enable you to cycle through your stratagems a lot better. Things are pretty hectic here, and I'm using as many Eagle airstrikes as I can to just get as many kills as I can. But yeah, it's just going to be a kiting game for pretty much the entire run. And no, this isn't something I can pull off consistently. Funny enough, for this video, conveniently enough, it was a back-to-back victory win. But yeah, I'll struggle with this mission a couple of times as well. It's not something I can do consistently, but I hope this helps anyone that wants to try this out, as it's probably one of the hardest missions to do. One thing that I found pretty interesting here on this wall is if you kind of hit it from an angle, you can climb up. Just check this out. May seem like a silly trick, but this, as you will see later on, will save our lives. I believe it saves us about 2 times. Since we kind of use the edges of the map there, it's going to be of quite some good use. Look how powerful that stim is, right? It completely turns you immune against automatons. You can get some pretty... You can do some pretty bold moves when you're stemmed up. And also here for the weapons, we're also using the Scorcher weapon, which I believe is the best weapon against the automatons, as it's able to deal with Striders, Devastators dramatically easier. I don't think we fight a single Devastator here on this map. Or not Devastator, sorry. I don't think we fight a single Strider on this map, but it absolutely thrives against them. I'm just getting hammered around, but as long as I got stims, then I'm pretty much immune, as you can see. But at this point, things get a little bit uglier because I run out of stims. So what I do is I go to the edge of the map here and try to reset a little bit. When you go to the edges of the map, due to these walls, the automatons have a long way to go around, which actually will buy you something like 20-30 seconds here before the automatons even pose a threat again. So it gives us a nice bit of time here to kind of restart and give us our stratagems a little bit of a reset. The hell bomb was dropped somewhere there on that bomb, on that ground, and one of them shot it, but I never saw it. Someone asked me how come my Torture seems to kill shoot a Devastators faster than theirs do. Against Shield Devastators, you want to shoot their shoulders, okay? You want to shoot the shoulders on the Shield Devastators. That's how you'll be able to kill them fast. I see some people try to shoot directly at their shields, but that's gonna take a lot longer. Against the Striders, it's okay. You can shoot directly on their front armor, but not against the shielded Devastators. Our biggest issue in this Eradicate mission is going to be continuously the Hulks, as you will see time and time again. They amount to pretty much like 90% of my deaths. It's always going to be the Hulks. This big boy here takes us out for the first time, but we're already up 27%. So I know if I can keep pulling off lives like that, then we'll be good to go as we get 6 lives. And that's already more than a quarter of the way through, so we're looking pretty good. Kind of chilling here on the edge of the map, kind of waiting for them to come to me so I can get a couple of clear kills without overextending or exposing myself. But eventually, I'm aware that they're going to reach me and things are going to get ugly, so I'm just trying to stall for as long as I can to reset those stratagems. Pick up a couple of resupplies here, and I figured, alright, let's get the hell out of here because things are about to get ugly. It's just going to be a lot of that kiting and just poking them apart and just killing them as often as you can. Just picking them out one by one, and eventually that number is going to reach 0. The stratagems as well, you're going to be able to do a lot of work. So I don't bring for this game, but what I can recommend is barrages. Barrages are very good for this type of playstyle because you can keep walking around the edges of the map and throwing barrages in the center of the map where the bulk of the automatons are. But yeah, I don't actually use that for this run at all. For the next run, I do use the 380mm barrage. But yeah, not on this one. First death comes around, I see 2 Hulks grouped up. I figure I might be able to land here and get both of them in one go. And I actually do manage to take one out and hurt the other one. So I know this one's hurt. I'm trying to get a clear angle on its back, but it's not working. So one thing you can do against the Hulks is land grenades in between their legs when they're weak. Okay, I landed 2 there. Third one does the trick. Down goes the Hulk. That can be quite useful at times. And as I can see here, the Devastators and all of these automatons are pretty grouped up, so it's time to drop in those Ego airstrikes that just came back from cooldown. To crunch that percentage as much as we possibly can. Also, stun grenades are very, very good against automatons, but I did not quite recommend it here. As stun grenades, you're not going to have enough space to stun a bot and get behind them, get to their weak spots and get rid of them. I recommend the impact grenades. I feel like they're a bit easier to utilize in a situation like this, where you're not really even able to breathe. The grenades can pretty much one-shot the shielded Devastators. You can one-shot the Striders. And you can even kind of get rid of Hulks, as you just saw there previously. It's pretty much going to be our main uses of impact grenades here. The key is going to be not to rush. The 15 minutes you get for this mission is more than enough. More than enough. You're able to get 4 to 5 different resupplies. You're able to get a crap ton of stratagems. You're going to be just fine. If you're using barrages, you're going to be able to get 2 to 3 barrages. I think maybe more. I'm not exactly sure. You're going to be getting a lot of barrages. So you're going to be getting a lot of uses out of your stratagems. You just got to play the time and not worry about doing it fast whatsoever. You hear about 3 tanks clumped up, and this is where the rocket pods come to shine. The rocket pods are strictly for the tanks. The rocket pods are able to one-hit tanks, so that's what we use it there. Try to use another one because I know there's still multiple tanks in there. I will say this though. I probably would, you know, looking back at these two gameplays, I probably would swap out the rocket pods for the barrage, the 380 millimeter barrage, and I would swap out the autocannon for the other barrage, which I think is called a 110 millimeter barrage. I think barrages are overall just a better idea than the rocket pods and the autocannon. As you can see, we haven't even used the autocannon. I'm trying to call in here the first autocannon in the game. Really, I only get a couple shots off of it. I'm not even sure I get any kills with it. Don't quite recall. Trying to grab here a bunch of stims. 6 stims means we're alive for quite a long period of time. I'm just trying to kite these big boys. But we're gonna run into a pretty bad group here, which is gonna force us to fall back. Oh, we get a Hulk autocannon kill there. That's pretty good. There's a huge army coming from that way, so I just try to grab as many kills as I can. We're already down to 84%. I got 3 lives. I know I'm pretty much good to go. I know the mission's already closed pretty much. I just gotta play time and try to work these kills. I shouldn't have peeked there, but I'm just trying to grab a few more kills. I know at this point I'm pretty much dead, but once again, here's that wall that I was talking about. Doesn't actually work out for me there, but it's still a neat trick nonetheless. It's gonna save you. And in these, you never want to go back to your body, by the way. You just want to dip and go the other direction, because if you just go back to your body, that's where all the automatons are gonna be, and you're just gonna die instantly when you go back. At this point, I'm really just worried about kind of trying to get as many kills here as I can to finish off this game. Up to 90%. Try to get a couple more with the grenade. Dive pretty good there. Dodge those rockets. Up to 93%. The pressure is immense. For this game, we don't manage to extract, by the way. Spoiler alert. The second one we do manage to extract. Honestly, I'm not concerned about extracting for these game modes at all. That rock is also great for making it back around. Try to take out the tank here. Try to pull a sneaky beaky one on it, but I don't quite take enough shots to finish it off, and I missed the nade, so since I'm out of bullets here, situation gets pretty ugly. I try to climb back so that I can swap around my weapons, pick up the more ammo one. Try to snag a couple more kills. Died here. The pressure's pretty strong, so I'm once again... I tried to go over here, but this crane was actually an invisible wall that didn't let my pod actually steer over this little hill, which is sadly the reason we die there. There is an invisible wall there for the steering pod, which just pushes me down there. Pretty annoyed at that point. We're able to finish it off right here. We got 4%. Grenaded this Devastator and I managed to pull it off, but I should have stimmed first. Again, when you use a stim, you're immune, dude. That's pretty much all you gotta know. You're pretty much immune. A 500 kilo bomb finishes off the game for us. At this point, I'm trying to kill as many as I can, but I don't really get too far because I'm surrounded from Hulks, which again, as I said before, is gonna be our worst enemy. And that's the first game. So that was quite easy. We go and immediately hop into another one. Let's just go through here this mission completed. I just want to... Oh no, actually I was going to say I just want to show how many kills we get here, but we actually don't even look at it. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I was kind of curious to see if we get any kills. Nope, but we don't. You know what? We'll just play this out.
We have new orders, Helldiver.
Take back to the ship.
To rid ourselves of the automaton irritant.
Swap missions out. Conveniently enough, it turned out to be the other different type of map. We look here, still the same operation modifiers. If I'm not mistaken, it's the exact same. So for this one, I kind of swapped things around a little bit as I didn't get any use on the autocannon on the first game. For this game, I make sure that I don't bring it. But at this point, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to bring. I was torn apart between the 380mm and the 110, but I ended up bringing up the 380. Also, yeah, use the Vitality. That's going to be your best choice as well for a booster. Should have mentioned that earlier, as it's going to make sure you injure your character a bit less, which will result in you wasting your stims a bit less, and making sure you keep those stims mostly only for wanting to become immune, let's say. So in this game, we actually do it even a little bit easier. The previous one, we got pretty close there to not pulling it off, but this one we do with a lot more ease. The barrage comes into huge play, which is why, again, looking back at this gameplay, I probably would swap out either the 500 kilo bomb or the rocket pod for the other barrage. As you'll see, the barrage here is going to be quite useful. I drop in the barrage immediately because we want to get multiple uses out of it in this one game. We don't want to save it for any specific situation, like when there's a lot of units or anything. No, we actually just want to use it right now so that we can get 3 uses out of it. As you saw there, the cooldown on it is 4 minutes and 30. So on a 15-minute game, we're going to get 3 uses out of it. But if we take too long to use it immediately, we're not going to be able to use 3 times. And that's my dog. At this point, I'm just kind of waiting for the boss to kind of push me. Essentially, this is what I like to do. I kind of sit still in a somewhat of a safe position, and I kind of wait until I'm pressured enough to move. If I'm not pressured enough to move, then I stay there and I just get as many kills as I can until I'm pressured to move. Is this that famous quote, don't fix what's not broken, right? So if it's working, we're staying here until it doesn't work, and then we have to get the hell out. We got an injured Hulk to the left here and an injured Hulk to the right. Use a rocket pod there to try to finish off that Hulk. Again, in this game, this rocket pod, I think it maybe gets like 5 kills in total. So yeah, the barrage is definitely going to be a better choice, I think. Or maybe even some other orbital choice. I would generally recommend using some armor penetrating one though, and not something like a cluster bomb, as that's not really going to be doing much against automatons. Once again, as we were pushed out, we go back onto our default mode of working the edges of the map. And again, every time you go to the edges of the map, it forces the automatons to make the way around the base to kind of come and reach you. So you get something like 30 seconds or so before they even get to you. It should allow you to get quite a few more kills before they even reach you. At this point, we're getting surrounded once again. I know there's a hole coming from here, which is why I anticipate the 500 kilo bomb. But once again, we get another glitch, but this time the stratagem goes through the floor, so we go and we throw another 500 kilo bomb to try to make it out. We're just kind of hoping it's going to destroy that Hulk so we can make our way out of this one from that direction. But it's actually a horrible 500 kilo bomb that doesn't kill a single bot. So we just try to get out of here with the stims. Again, stims turn us immune for that brief amount of time, but yeah, just get shoved to the floor here. And since the stim was already out of time, then get in a pretty bad situation. So I have a pretty bad respawn here. I respawn a little bit too close to the middle of it. I'm feeling a bit confident here at this point, but it was a horrible, horrible choice. Again, that tip that I said previously, I will say it again. You have to go far away from the enemies. You can't land too close to them. The automatons just instantly nail you the second they see you. So you always want to be getting your distance from them. And since you're playing alone, all the automatons will follow where you are. So if you die on the east side of the map, when you respawn, try to go as far west as you can. Don't make the same mistake that I did there. At this point, I tried to hold air for as long as I could, but I'm already getting pressured. So once again, figure I might make my way to the edge of the map again. So we're gonna jump down. By the way, jump damage is like almost negligible in this game. You can jump from really tall places, high places. Well, for resupply here, another thing that I didn't mention yet, but you should be calling resupplies around the edges of the map. So as you kind of go around in a circle around the map, you'll constantly be running into your own resupplies. That's also going to be very useful. Try to land the barrage there as close to the middle of the map as I can. I think this barrage turns out to be quite good, if I recall correctly. Problem about the 380 is that the radius of it is a bit too large, which is once again why I think the 110 barrage will actually be a fantastic choice, as it lands a lot closer to your actual target. This one still gets something like 20 kills, probably a decent amount of hulks. Is gonna add to a lot of our percentage there. We're already up to 47%. So we're doing pretty good here. I missed those grenades pretty terribly, but one grenade to a shielded devastator will get rid of them. Got a couple hulks above me. Try to shoot his vent there, but that didn't quite work out. It turned around pretty quick. Now I'm just kind of chilling. Once again, waiting for the enemies to flush me out. I wasn't sure if that was a Devastator or a Hulk there, which is why I shot it a couple times. Try to hit this, shoot a Devastator's shoulder, but I kind of have a hard time. It's pretty dark map. Probably really dark for you guys there as well. This time around, I was actually given quite a lot of time here. We had a lot of time to recover. And boy, the rockets are so nice now. They actually don't one-hit you guys. They used to one-hit, which was crazy annoying. But nowadays, with this heavy armor, I don't know if you saw there, but I took it to the face. That only did like 30% of our health there, which is pretty good. At this point, I don't really see anything there, by the way. I'm just kind of shooting into the fog because I see gunfire coming out of it. Just look at this situation. This moment here is going to show you guys how important that stim immunity really is. If I recall correctly, I believe this is the right point. See the Hulk? The Hulk is the one that's going to flush us out. So you see the Hulk, and I'm like, all right, let's get the fuck out of Dodge. But look how I pull this off with the immunity given by this heavy armor's passive. And all these automatons just blasting at me. I'm constantly spamming the stim button here. And of course, we get yet another glitch. Helldiver can't make his way up there. Getting grounded and pounded. Stimmed up again. Once again, still immune. Get another stim off, but at this point, we're out of stims. I think we still pull it off. I think we were able to escape. Yeah, one more stim would have done the job. But sadly, we had that glitch there where we couldn't climb up. That's about 3 glitches in these 2 games that actually cost our lives. Pretty sadly, but still managed to pull it off. No big deal. Once again, I make the same mistake of landing right in the middle of the map instead of trying to go all the way to the edge of it. I made that mistake several times. At this point, spoiler alert, I don't really think we die anymore, if I recall correctly. At this point, it's just going to be about working out the last few spots, just using those Eagle airstrikes to our advantage. Once again, just abusing the edge of the map, making them have to make the way around the map to reach us. Oh, okay, I guess I was wrong. So there, I did properly. I hesitated there for a second. I was thinking about going back to my body, but I actually went away from it, so that was a good move. I wanted to reach that resupply though that I had just called in, which is why I kind of leaned towards it. As the resupplies will just give us an insane, of course, an insane amount of ammo and something like I believe 8 stims, which, you know, it's a lot of invincibility against automatons, which is definitely something we're looking for. Barrage here manages to get quite a few more kills. Still 20 seconds left on that bad boy, and it's just shredding through the automatons. Just nuking them with everything I got. If you guys know of any other stratagems that might have a better fit for this mission, then do let me know. But I think this just goes to show I wasn't running ideal stratagems there, and still very, very possible by using the strategy. By using the edges of the map, forcing them to rotate. Try to land here a couple in between their legs. I do land a couple of hefty ones. Usually it takes 3 to 4 nades, but I think I missed on the first one, which didn't get rid of them, sadly. We figure we just keep running away. We're only 4% away. At this point, I'm kind of hoping that rocket pod's going to finish the game. It doesn't. I'm able to kite that Hulk to completion. Found it wrong. At this point, only missing a couple more bot kills. And hey, that does it. So that does it. But we also extract in this game. So we're gonna go through that in case you're also wanting to extract while you're doing this. So we accidentally do something here. We don't actually do that on purpose. But I don't know if you guys know, but if when the extraction point is called in and the Pelican 1 is arriving on the extraction point, if you're not in range of the extraction point, the Pelican 1 will stay floating, shooting at the enemies, which is actually what ends up happening. I really didn't do this on purpose. I was just making my way around the map to reach the extraction point. But I ended up forcing the Pelican 1 to stay floating and killing a bunch of automatons, making this extraction a tad bit easier. So since I forced all the automatons to stay on that side of the map, figure I'll go around the map and make my way around. Pays off quite well. So yeah, as we make our way back here to the Pelican 1, I want to say thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you guys for your continued support. We will be streaming the upcoming next week. We also have the new war bond coming, which I will be covering a lot of content on it. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys very much for watching. I hope this could be useful to some of you Helldivers out there, especially the solo Helldivers that might be trying to pull off this mission. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Peace!